The nurse who adopted a baby no one wanted. The hospital smelled faintly of disinfectant and hope, a strange mix only nurses could understand. The rain outside drummed softly against the windows, and the dim lights of the maternity ward flickered every now and then. It was 2:43 a.m. when Nurse Emma heard the cry. It was weak, a trembling, desperate sound. She turned the corner and saw a small bundle lying in the crib at the end of the hall. The newborn's tiny fists waved aimlessly in the air, her breaths shallow and strained. Next to her was a folded piece of paper, damp from the humidity. Amma picked it up. The handwriting was shaky, hurried. It read only 2 words: no name. Her heart broke. The doctor nearby sighed. She was abandoned, he said quietly. Born too early. Heart issues. The mother ran away before dawn. Amma looked at the baby's frail chest rising and falling, fighting for every breath. Something inside her stirred something deeper than duty. She reached into the crib and touched the baby's hand. The tiny fingers closed around her thumb, and at that moment, Amma made a silent promise she didn't yet understand. For weeks, she stayed after her shifts, sleeping only a few hours at home before coming back. She would hum softly to the baby, tell her stories about the stars, and call her my little sunshine. The baby responded to her voice more than anyone else's. When others gave up hope, Amma didn't. Her colleagues teased her gently. "You've become a mother," one nurse said. Amma smiled faintly. "Maybe I have." When social services arrived to move the baby to foster care, Amma's chest tightened. She followed the official down the hallway, her hands trembling. Then she spoke the words that changed everything. "Let me keep her. Please. I'll take care of her." They hesitated. Amma was single, barely earning enough to survive. She had no family to help her, no fancy house, just a rented room and an old bicycle. But her eyes burned with conviction. "She already knows my voice," Amma whispered. "If she must survive, let her survive with love." It took months of paperwork, home inspections, and endless questions. But eventually, one evening, Amma walked out of the hospital not as a nurse on duty but as a mother. She named her times Efua *, meaning times born on Friday *, the day she was found. Years passed, like the turning of pages in a book written by love. Amma worked extra shifts, sometimes going without food so Efua could eat. She carried her on her back to work when no one else could babysit. She patched old clothes, boiled rainwater when the taps went dry, and whispered prayers over her sleeping child each night. There were hard days when Efua's fragile health scared her to tears. The hospital visits never seemed to end. Doctors doubted she would live to see 5, but Amma never lost faith. When Efua grew older, she would ask, "Ma, why do you always smile, even when you're tired?" Amma would chuckle softly. "Because I'm looking at the reason I keep going." By the time Efua turned 16, she was radiant, strong, intelligent, with her mother's calm smile and fiery determination. She dreamed of becoming a doctor one day, to help children like the one she once was. But one afternoon, while cleaning, she stumbled upon an old envelope hidden in a drawer. Inside were hospital papers, records of her birth, her early complications, and a note labeled *. Abandoned infant, no known mother. *. Her hands shook. The room blurred. She sat on the floor for a long time, the weight of it all pressing on her chest. That night, Amma returned home to find Efua sitting quietly at the table, the papers in front of her. Amma froze. "I didn't want you to find out this way," she whispered. Efua's eyes glistened. "So it's true?" Amma nodded, tears spilling. "I couldn't have children. The doctors said I never would. But when I saw you, something in me woke up. I didn't give birth to you, but you were born for me." Efua rose from her chair, tears streaming. She knelt before her mother, just as Amma had once done for her. "You didn't give me life, Ma," she said through sobs. "You times taught me how to live." They held each other for a long time, two hearts that had found home in each other. Years later, the story spread beyond their little town. Efua, now a grown woman and a medical student, shared her mother's story online. The post went viral overnight. People all over the world wept reading about a nurse who adopted a baby no one wanted. Months later, a local news station invited them to share their story. Cameras flashed as Efua took the stage, her mother sitting proudly in the front row. "When I was born," Efua said into the microphone, her voice trembling, "the world gave up on me. But one woman didn't. She didn't just heal me, she chose me." Emma's eyes filled with tears as the crowd stood, clapping. Efua turned to her mother and held out her hand. "This is my mother, my first healer, my forever home." The lights shimmered, the cameras rolled, and for the first time, Amma realized something she had never dared believe. That love, no matter how small or humble, can rewrite destiny. Because in a world that sometimes forgets compassion, one woman's quiet act of kindness had lit a fire that would never die. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.